Future First Lady Melania Trump appeared in a Maryland courtroom yesterday in her defamation case against Britain's Daily Mail and blogger Webster Tarpley. Mrs. Trump filed a lawsuit in September claiming they published false articles alleging she had worked as an escort and saying that she suffered a nervous breakdown during the campaign. The stories were later retracted. Her lawyers told CBS This Morning Mrs. Trump was not required to attend the court conference, but chose to do so to meet the judge, meet opposing counsel, and show her commitment to the case. CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman is here. Rikki, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, this is a defamation case. So what will Melania Trump's legal team need to prove?
Melania Trump is no doubt a public figure. She is the future First Lady of the United States of America. When you are a public figure, the standard of proof for a plaintiff like Mrs. Trump is higher. She has to show actual malice, which means a reckless disregard of the truth. It's a case that comes all the way back from New York Times versus Sullivan. Very few public figures have ever been able to meet that burden. So she has a big burden, but she just might satisfy it.
Why?
I think that this is a different kind of case than someone who's a public figure who is simply thin-skinned. The reason that we have public figures who it has to be a higher burden of proof is because they have a public pulpit. They can defend themselves. The reason this one is particularly offensive is what you have.
Does she have to prove that she wasn't an escort and that she didn't have a nervous breakdown? Does she have to prove the opposite?
Well, it doesn't quite work that way. What she has to prove is that when they published these statements, that the statements were false. So in essence, you're going back to your question, but they were done without any kind of investigation, without any kind of sourcing, without any kind of proof. In fact, both the Daily Mail and Mr. Tarpley know and say that they were just throwing out rumors out there, that these were rumors that they were then going to continue to publish.
They retracted those stories pretty quickly. Does that make a difference?
Well, it will help them in some little bit of equity that they did the right thing, and they did retract them quickly. However, damage of reputation is done at the time of publication. So this is a case that as we look at it going forward, this is a big what we call a motions case. You're going to have motions to dismiss. You're going to have motions for summary judgment. The court is going to get deeply involved in all the legal niceties involving defamation. If this case gets past the motion stage, and it really well might, and this case goes forward to a jury with the lawyer that she has, that I think she has a decent chance of success, which is rare.
Beyond the obvious reason nobody wants to have people say bad things about him that are not true, why is she doing this?
What you're looking for here is the case that you're talking about chastity and a crime. That's serious defamation.
Well, the Daily Mail did release, they didn't respond to a comment, but they have released a statement. Mr. Tarpley's lawyer says this, that his client, quote, is a champion of the First Amendment and believes that public discourse, even when it delves into potentially sensitive matters, is critical in the political arena.
Right thing to say. That'll be his defense.
All right. Thank you very much, Rikki.
And Melania's Trump lawyer, Charles Harder, is the one who represented Hulk Hogan in his successful lawsuit against Gawker.
Brilliant hire.
Brilliant hire. Rikki Klieman, it's always great to have you here.
Yes, it is.